Yo, it's your boy Retro, and this is every anime worth watching in the summer of 2026. Obviously, you got the popular ones like JJK, Fire Force, and Freerun, but I wanted to give you all some that you might not have heard of. I'm going to break this video into sections based on the anime, so skip around with the timestamps in the description if you want to. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up is action. Elusive Samurai is a historical action comedy about a young samurai who flees after his family is killed by a traitor. It's a mostly lighthearted anime with some scenes that can get pretty dark. It also has some pretty amazing animation, so if any of that sounds interesting to you, give it a shot. The first season is completed and the second season airs in July, so you won't have to wait too long for another season. Next up, we're going more futuristic with the Ghost in the Shell remake. I imagine you probably know what Ghost in the Shell is, but in case you don't, Ghost in the Shell is a futuristic story set in a cyberpunk world that influenced an insane amount of media. There have been many sequels and adaptations since the 1995 movie, but none have been able to capture the same feeling. But this one is animated by Science Saru. Science Saru is the studio behind Dandadan and Devilman Crybaby, so I have high hopes. This one drops in July, and I strongly recommend that you check it out. Next up is something a little more supernatural with Black Torch is an action shonen that uses ninja-style combat to fight yokai. It's set in the modern day and the main character can also talk to animals. The manga's art is beautiful, but this is a short story, so it's likely we'll only get one season. 100 Studio is animating it, and they only have about 2 series under their belt, so it's no telling what the quality is going to be like, but fingers crossed. The next 3 anime are pretty much anything outside of the action genre. First up is A Witch's Life in Mongol is a historical drama that leans into politics and survival during the Mongol Empire. The main character is a young girl who is enslaved by a prominent family within the empire. The art in the manga looks very unique, and the setting is a huge departure from what you would normally see in an anime. It's also animated by Science Saru, so I'm super excited for this one. Even if this isn't your cup of tea, I would highly recommend checking it out when it drops in July. Next up is something a little more lighthearted. Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You is a love story between an office worker and a store clerk. Just the name alone stands out to me that this romance anime is going to be very different because the main characters are actually adults. Seriously though, if the whole middle schooler love story turns you off, give this one a shot. Based on the manga, it's a much more mature love story without all the high school energy tomfoolery that most romance animes tend to fall into. This one also drops in July. For the final entry, we have a much more traditional romance anime. You and I Are Polar Opposites is a much more traditional romance anime set in a high school. The story centers around the 2 love interests being wacky and cute together. I'm gonna be honest, I don't normally like these types of anime, but I watched a few episodes of the first season and it was honestly pretty good. It can still be very cringy, but there are some very emotional and heartfelt scenes. The first season is finished and the second season is set to debut in July, so check this one out if it seems up your alley. Man, July is looking to be a pretty crazy month with some promising anime for every genre. I hope you found at least one anime you can look forward to within this list. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching.